Hey everybody, it's Amber Janae here, your host of Bloodlines and Backdrops. We are here Fan Appreciation Weekend in Covington, Georgia, aka Mystic Falls. We're at the Lockwood Mansion. I'm sorry, I honestly think you were the last owner of this house.
I was. It's technically the Donovan Mansion.
It is technically. We like to joke on the tours. We call this the halfway house. If anybody ever needed a place to live, they just ended up here. So
this is kind of where they ended up, yes.
This is kind of where they ended up. So my guest has already spoken. I don't even think he needs an introduction, but here we go, everybody. I'm going to try to say your last name right, and I probably should have asked that before we started. I said this to your agent so many times. Zach Roerig?
Roerig, that was correct.
Roerig. Okay,
yeah,
look at that. Oh, Presley is so proud of me. She was
I'm
so
Zach
nervous.
Roerig. I played a character named Matt Donovan on the Vampire Diaries. Spent many a late night here at this very residence. Before we built sets and stages and all that kind of stuff, we had locations like this. And Ben and Ralph, the owners of the house, are just right across the way. Were very gracious to us throughout. Late nights, they would come out with like freshly baked cookies and stuff like that. Yeah.
They still do that kind of stuff. Like around the holidays, they bring us pieces of pie out and cookies and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, they still do all that kind of stuff. Ben loves to bake. So.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. In fact, actually, my morning jacket one time we played here, or filmed here, my morning jacket played right out there on a stage they had built for, I think it was like, I don't know if it was a graduation party. I don't remember what it was, but it, like, we had a lot of parties, so.
Lots of parties. There were lots of parties. I want to say one thing about Matt Donovan before we get into these questions. So you may recall, I think that we have a second wave of fans right now. And a lot of these fans Netflix the show. So they binged it, right? And it was a different experience for some of us who watched it from the beginning, who had to wait a week and then had to wait months and had to wait years and all that stuff. And, I've gone back and I've looked at the old tweets and I've looked at the old things. Matt Donovan was a fan favorite in the beginning.
In the beginning.
The
yes.
OG fans
who
had to absorb the series, absorb it, took Matt Donovan for what he was, a wonderful ex-boyfriend, okay? We all want someone that's just going to protect us for 5 years after we've broke their heart, That's what we want. But now you seem a little hated. What do you think changes?
Well, I think a lot of the fuel to that fire is Paul Wesley. Love you, Paul. P-Dub. That's the funny thing. Is like people come up to me all the time like, can you believe what Paul's saying about you online? Like, it's terrible. Blah, blah, blah. Like, but behind the scenes, we're buds. Mm-hmm. Paul's one of my good friends. So it's a lot of love right there. But, like, I always tell people it's better to be hated than forgotten.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that if you stream the show and you watch it, you probably... Like, why is he still alive? Julie Pleck is the answer to that. Thank you. She had a soft spot. But I think more than anything, if they would have killed Matt, the show would have lost all relevance to sort of like everyday life.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Matt was dealing with everyday problems while the vampires were fighting off things that were totally just fantastical to like people, and they could just escape their regular life. Whereas Matt was kind of a tangible experience to like, oh yeah, that's right, I have bills to pay. My life kind of sucks, but thank God I can watch this show.
I know all those favors, and at no point Damon or Stefan couldn't have compelled you some dollar bills, yo. Like.
Well, no, instead Damon was just constantly shoving his wrist in my mouth.
Yeah, what was it? Like, just give me money to get out of town, bro.
Camera's not on us. Get your wrist out of my mouth, please.
You got the whistle hand, so that's...
All right. So I think I told you a little bit about Bloodlines and Backdrops. We were here for filming. We were here for the filming days. We saw a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. We saw a lot of stuff that didn't make it on air and some stuff that did. So I want to go back to Covington. Let's go back to the Covington connection here. Can you think of a filming day in town that just really felt like magic?
I mean, that's a hard question. Truthfully, every time we filmed in Covington kind of felt like magic because we started filming it around the square when no one knew what was going on. Mm-hmm. They didn't know we were even doing the show. To like cut to season 3, there's security and there's people lining the entire square taking photos of us in between takes. So it was all pretty magical, but like the culmination of the show for me was the bell tower scene with my father on the show, and like Matt finally being redeemed, like knowing that his instincts were right, that his family had more to this town than just taxpayers, essentially.
Yeah. You were like, I knew deep down under.
Yeah, they were in fact
the Donovans
bell
were a
makers.
founding member of this town, which the whole founding member thing is kind of weird. Anyways.
But anything season 1, really.
Season 1 is magic.
Yeah.
I didn't come in and start watching filming around until episode 15, which we're getting really close to on the pod. But I know Jessica has some gems with you guys early on.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, like yeah.
Well, when you have like the whole crew that was here, talking about like Kayla Ewell playing Vicky, my sister, that was like the magic time when we first came to Atlanta. During that, like all of us kids relocating, everyone getting their own apartments. Where were they going to live? Some lived in the same buildings. We would get together and watch movies, or when the show first started airing, like viewing it together or watching it in a trailer on set while we were filming. Like, to me, those were the magic times.
I love that. I do love that. It was the opposite for us. So the magic times for us were watching you guys do that. Like, one of my favorite stories I like to tell on the tour, do you remember killing Finn in the alleyway?
I bragged about it all day.
So do you remember they actually had you kill Stefan as well? So they had you. There were a lot of people out there filming that way. You may not remember it this way, but I swear.
You're saying I killed Stefan?
But you didn't. They did that because people were watching filming. So there was another time they did that, like when Alaric gets hit by the hybrid in front of the Gilbert house. They filmed that multiple ways, where several of the guys out there got hit, so people watching filming couldn't see or couldn't tell what was going on.
No, I did not know that. No.
So if you didn't kill Stefan, verify it for me now, because that's what I'm telling people on the tour, because that's what we were told, that you killed a couple of people down there because people were watching filming and they didn't want everyone to know that you killed an original.
I don't remember that. But
We can cut this part out if it's not true, because we're not gonna make me look stupid on this show.
No, I don't know. I
fine.
don't think so. I don't think so. I think that I think it was just me killing Finn that night. I don't think there was like any sort of cover up. But I'm also gonna just point out that was at least 10 years ago.
Yep.
So, and it was also like probably 3:00 in the morning.
Yes, so many night shoots. So how's your sleeping schedule these days?
It just depends what I'm doing. Just wrapped a film where the last 10 days were nights, and it was like going into work at 7 p.m., getting home at like 8 in the morning, and I'm like an early morning kind of guy, so I couldn't sleep much.
Yeah, and you were like, no, I could do this 15 years ago, but it's a little different now.
Now I'm a little older. Now
A little bit
40.
older. Okay, so out of the things in the episode, so you wore the Letterman jacket, the truck, were there any pieces that were a part of Matt Donovan that you really treasured that you wish that you would have taken with you?
I'm actually wearing his underwear right now.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I would have liked to get the blue truck, the little blue Chevy, but it was also a piece of shit.
That's the best kind, though.
Yeah, I know, but it rarely ran. I don't know, I got a lot of cool stuff. I've still got Matt's tux. I've got a lot of Matt's boots.
Speaking of boots, so long time ago, I said I like your boots, and you said these are the ones I wore as cash when you were on Friday Night Lights.
Those are a pair of Justin's, actually. I still have those.
And I remember that because I remember how much I loved Friday Night Lights. What a brilliant show.
That was my favorite. I mean, like Matt, thank God for Matt. Thank God to all the people that allowed me to be here. But like Cash was definitely my favorite role of all time.
Really?
My whole
Oh
career,
my
yeah.
gosh, I love Friday Night Lights is incredible. I feel like Friday Night Lights has the nostalgia feeling like Vampire Diaries does.
100% it does, yeah.
In the sense of so I'm going to wrap this up. I just want to ask you one more thing. How do you feel about this second wind? Did you ever think that you were going to wake up one day and the Vampire Diaries was going to be revived?
I mean, I don't think this is the second wind. I think this is like the third, at least. I mean, I've got mothers that are coming up to me with photos of me touching their pregnant belly, and now they've got a 10-year-old kid or a 17-year-old kid standing next to their mom that she was pregnant when we first started the show. Like, I don't know. I think it just kind of, it's like, what streamer is it bouncing around to? I didn't know at the time. I definitely didn't know. We'd done a lot of different pilots, many of us, as actors. I attribute Ian, I say this all the time, when we were shooting the pilot in Vancouver, Ian's character is barely in the pilot. He came up to me in the makeup trailer because I told Ian when I first met him at the test, I was like, dude, I'm a huge fan. And it wasn't from Boone or anything like that. I saw him do a play in New York off Broadway called Dog Sees God, and I thought he was great, and I was like a big fan. and he grabbed me by the shoulder and said, "Get ready for the ride of your life, kid." And I was kind of like, "Oh yeah, sure," but I mean, he was right. And, Yeah, so I feel very rewarded and grateful, and I don't know. I think it's probably going to keep going.
And who knows? Maybe one of those ones that gets remade one day. You never know.
Maybe. The thing about vampires and aging.
I don't mean with y'all. I mean, they'll bring in some, that'll be like the 90210.
Oh, that? Nah.
Yeah, so hopefully.
No, we could do the Matt Donovan show.
Yeah, we could. We could do a side show. Matt Donovan and all his kids.
Mayor, sheriff, extraordinaire.
I actually do have one more since we said that about Matt Donovan. How do you think where do you think people would want to see Matt Donovan in 10 years?
No, I don't know. In 10 years, shoot, I'll be 50 then. I don't know. How old would Matt be? Probably like 40. I don't know. Probably playing a little bit older. I think probably being the mayor.
Maybe actually finding love.
Maybe Elena came back to town. Maybe they had kids.
Ooh. All right, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, it was wonderful having you. Thank you for coming this weekend.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for doing the podcast. Very excited. He said this was the first podcast he's ever done. Yeah.
Yeah, this is. It's definitely the first. Like, I can't even tell if I'm on camera, but I'm sure I am.
You're doing great.
Pretty advanced technology here.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You guys know, stay safe, stay vampy, and remember, in Mystic Falls, nothing is ever as it seems.